Kali invocation is making me do a lot of shadow work, really. I am sitting down and all a lot of angry moments are coming up. All those moments where I was treated not fairly and where I was disrespected, where I felt uncomfortable, and where I was actually not reacting the way I wanted to react. And this time, I'm actually being very honest and about what I want. And what I want is to stand up for myself. I want respect. I want my boundaries to be respected. Otherwise, I'm going to cut you out. Cutting out people was something that I did for a very long time. It was one of my power moves. Um, but then the last years, I was sort of feeling guilty, like I was blaming myself that cutting out people and being this cold and very authoritative there and being in my power would be the reason why I cannot connect with people. I sort of believe that. So the last years was all about learning compassion and unconditional love to connect better with people. But honestly, it just resulted in neglecting myself and what I want. Like I became a little bit too soft. I lacked compassion towards myself and my needs and accepting those needs, like having boundaries, standing up for myself, being a lot. And there is a wound being a lot. Want to stop telling myself that I am a lot. I don't want to apologize for wanting to be a leader, having this power and influence that comes from within naturally, being authoritative. I realized that the moment I started invoking Kali and feeling resistance. I was journaling. I had to journal because I felt it. I felt it in my solar plexus, and I started journaling. And I was just spilling out everything that came up, and I was like, I do not need you. I'm a warrior myself. I can fight myself. I don't need you. At the same time, in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Kali. I trust you. Please don't be mad at me. You know that this is just a wound. But this wound was telling me something about what I want. What I want. And just at the right time, I was attracting this podcast on Spotify yesterday about the dark feminine. And it reflected exactly what I'm going through right now. This kind of shadow work. But it was so beautiful because it said it is a part of you. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of power and authority. And, you know, I don't wish to have power over people. I just wish to have power and radiate it and be accepted for it, even loved for it. And I want to be I I want to lead by example. This is why I am doing these videos, because I know this shadow work will, what's the word? It won't be for nothing. This is going to get me somewhere. I know that. And I know that this is people helping at the right time. I know that. But it's tough. Oh my gosh. It's tough. So, yeah, I started to find peace with that part of me, my fire. And yes, I want the goddess Kali in my life. I want her, like, desperately. I want to channel her power, feel her within me, but also helping me, protecting me. Yes, yes, I declare. I told you in the last video that I was attracting this Kali message from Neha. Love you. I love you. I love your channel. I love your channelings and readings. And yeah, she was like, the angry mother is protecting you. She will move people, move me. She's justice. In short, she is just justice. She will take care of it, and I should not worry that I am protected. And there was this interesting part where Neha said, you like to stand up for yourself, but there are certain peoples you cannot stand up against. Is that the word? Against? You know what I mean. You it's like a hopeless case. That's how I perceive the message. There are those people who are like hopeless cases. And yes, I am confronted with that kind of person. I want to stand up for myself, but this person is just shutting me out. My neighbor. Just for you to understand, I knocked on the door and he was not opening. I wanted to be clear about my boundaries and be like, okay, your aggressive moments are too much. I'm not the one you're angry about. You're angry about the other ones, and this is not my fault. And I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that this is too much for me and you're stepping over. And I knocked. I was like, no reaction. This moment where I was like, oh my gosh. This is like a first. First in I mean that I can't do. It seems like I can't do anything about it. I want to do evil things. I think this is why I attracted Carly, because she heard my plea. Um, she heard me wanting to destroy, burn, and she is the perfect one for that. Because this will get me in trouble if I really do what I want to do. No one can see my journal. I was writing evil things that I wanted to do. Um. Well, yeah. Now I have to learn to trust her with that. But there's so much anger, so much anger. I am asking her for help and what to do with my anger. People, please tell me if you were ever in a similar situation where you had to hand over the situation because your power, you couldn't even use your own power. Like, I have to define power new. Like, giving it over to Kali as a form of my own power. That's how I want to see it. Like a witch. Have you seen Sabrina? Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix? Where they are channeling the power of Hecate. in the last season. And this is so interesting, but this is also a form of power. Like, they are receiving the power, they're using Hecate, you know? Yeah. There are moments where I feel like a failure because I'm not the one in doing it, you know, destroying him. I can't. It seems like I can't. I'm not supported in it. The moment he was not opening the door, I was like, okay, maybe this is for the better. Maybe it really is for the better because I have to admit, even though I have this fire, my body is in survival mode at the moment. Like my body is really fearing communicating emotional needs. I am not kidding. This is one of my shadows, communicating emotional needs, because I was not allowed in my childhood to communicate emotional needs. And now I have to learn. Woo, this is tough. This is tough. I was able to fight good fights on the mind level, like using logic and just having rational arguments at work. Yes, of course, work related stuff, no problem. Emotional needs, this feeling of guilt, this is like I was reading a book today about my North Node. I don't know if you're familiar with astrology, but the North Node is telling you where your soul wants to go, what your soul wants to learn in this lifetime. And it was describing my type. And it said my type is North Node is Pisces. Really afraid of feeling emotions because it actually feels like death to my kind of people. It is so accurate. Really feels like I could die. This is how scared my body is to communicate emotional needs. It is also something that I have to learn, and I was willing to learn, but as I told you, doors were shut today. Okay. Oh my gosh, yes. But this is part of my growth. I will keep you updated, and it would be nice if you share your stories that might be similar to mine, how you've dealt with it, and success stories. I love success stories. If you have some with divine shadow work, divine feminine, sorry, dark divine feminine shadow work, working with dark divine feminine archetypes, yeah, share that with me.